We are motivated, we self-made it, not fearing what's ahead.
Good evening, and welcome to RockTrue Radio. I am your host, Selena K, and we thank you for joining us as we rock truth to absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, even before our very eyes, is consistently questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, infallible, inerrant, and the final authority for all. Rock Truth is founded on He who is the original point of reference for all things to come through eternity. Rock Truth Radio is a cross-cultural response to the economic climate and social crises of today. Rock Truth is designed to serve the physical need of fallen man while serving the spiritual need he didn't know he had, but impact, affect, and impact generationally. Rock Truth Radio seeks to inspire, enlighten, highlight upcoming and established local kings and queens of character, while promoting Black consciousness and awareness of who we are and to whom we belong. It is indeed a kingdom renaissance. Welcome, fellow truthers. What's going on, queens? What's going on, queens?
Hey.
Hey. Hey, my queen. Hey, my queen. How are you, babe? Hey, my queen. Hey, sis.
Hey, there she is.
Hey. Oh.
Don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let nobody hold you down.
I ain't into that joint. Shout out to Naya with Naptown Entertainment. Yeah. All right, you all good and settled, H.A. Adams?
Yeah, I had to get the kids from school.
What's going on, Queen? How y'all doing today?
I am great. I did a whole lot of prepping earlier for all my produce and stuff. I got my vegetables and I did my salsa for the chicken this Saturday. Oh yes.
Oh yeah. I
And
can't
it's
wait.
already in the fridge marinating.
Oh, that's the thought. I just came from the grocery store and I was just like, you know what? I didn't think I would have did that. Why you didn't say that? That's right.
It is a whole 2-day marinade. Imagine what that goes on the grill. Oh.
Don't do it. Hey Jay, how's the children?
They are well. Y'all can say hi.
Hi.
And that's
Doc
Ock.
Hey.
And then that's Doc Ock. She said hi too.
Hi. Hey, that's a queen right there. Yes, she is starting a new clothing line. Does she want to talk about it a little bit? Can she hear? She can hear
you. You want to talk about it, Leah?
You want to talk about your clothing line real quick, Mama?
She's I remember nothing. No, she said no.
Oh my goodness, sis, you're gonna have to come on out there. Don't worry about it. You got us. We're gonna bring you right on out.
I feel like it feels like she would be great on one of the RockTrue Youth.
Yes. Yes, I can definitely see her.
Yeah, definitely.
I can.
So yeah, I think it should be definitely a kids, a boss up kids edition.
Oh, I like that. We definitely. I'm almost finished sharing, y'all. Y'all know how. Hi, Ty.
Right.
Hi, Lord Ty. That's my boy. Shout out to Lord Ty. Always pricking the minds out there in the building. Greetings, King. Greetings. Yeah, shout out to Miss Michelle Kane. That's sis. Love her. Everything she doing out here is amazing. It's amazing. Woo, we are coming to an end of May, guys. Already? Already?
It seems
Already.
it went by really, really fast.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's 6 months. We're 6 months in, guys, in 2021. 6 months is gone. Whoa.
But Mary, we still got 6 months to be great.
Come on, sis. Come on. Inspire me. Yes, we
six
got
months,
6 months
six
to
months
be
is gone,
great.
but we got 6 months to be great.
Come on and teach this for real. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to, the year's end and what it entails for us and then 2022. Like who would say that out loud? Like that's real for us right now. 2022.
Right.
That's real, sis. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yes.
But that's
Yes.
definitely
So
a
we're
thing. You know, the seasons are gonna come and go. You just got to make sure you're prepared for each, and that you're doing the proper
that's
things in each
it.
season. When spring is here, you plant. When the summer is
Yep.
here, you water it. When the
Come
fall
on, sis.
comes, you harvest. And
Come
when the
on,
winter
sis.
comes, you rest. You take
Listen.
note of how the
Right.
harvest went, what you can do
Come on.
differently to improve it. The fall,
Evaluation.
like it's always something that comes with each season for you to
Come
do and to continue to progress because the season's gonna come regardless.
on. Come on. And as you can see, the season ain't changing. So you always like she's telling you what's gonna come. So when you know that spring is coming to water, you can prepare. So it's giving you what you need.
Exactly.
There's nothing to take you back. Like, oh, I'm shocked. No,
Right. Who
baby.
knew that
Oh,
spring would be right after winter? Who does that? Like, the world
the world.
for the past 6,000. I don't know.
No, you
Run it
are
back. I don't know.
I'm just saying, sis.
Like clockwork. Last time I checked, that's the order that
That's
they've always
the
been.
very last time though. I
But
could be wrong.
the key thing is prepare. Don't wait until spring to do things for the spring. You got to get it ready beforehand. So you got to
Exactly.
plan before that. But if you waiting until summer to do all of the things during that season, you're not gonna be ready. You're gonna always be working from behind instead of ahead of yourself, ahead of what's coming.
See, no, for real. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the key. Prepare. Everything you got is for prepared people. Like you know what I'm saying? You prepare yourself, you can have it, and you're absolutely
Like I
right.
heard them say, luck. There is no such thing as luck or something like opportunity smiles on the prepared. It's something like that.
Like
But
that.
basically, it's nothing about being lucky. It's about being prepared because you can get the luckiest, the best opportunity ever. And if you're not prepared to take advantage of it, like that's not lucky. That's probably one of the most unlucky situations to be in is like you get the opportunity of a lifetime and you're not even ready to take advantage of it. Like how terrible would that be?
That's true failure, and that's the thing. You know what? Going with that, with this microwave generation, we like to rush a lot of the things that we do, and that's what the type of products that you end up with. A rushed product that in the end it falls apart. If it could even stand together because you rushed it, it's undone, incomplete, and you're not ready for it. It ain't even ready for you. For proper consumption, and it's just like that's what we do. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They want it quick.
Come on.
Like I'll post my results photos, but I want people to fully understand that's a lifetime in the making. Like literally, like everything that I went through as a kid, everything that I did in college, like all of that stuff culminates to what I can do with my body now. So if you've never played a sport, you've never had any type of physical activity in your life, it's going to take you a minute before you get a body like someone who has, because that's just the nature of how bodies work. Like there is a such thing as muscle memory, cell memory. Yes, you get a whole new set, and your entire body from the head to your toe is new every 7 years. The cells die, they get regenerated and all of that stuff. And in 7 years, you have all new cells. But before they go, They leave a note. Okay, so this is where I left off. This is what. So when you have new cells to replace them, trust me, they're doing the same job that the cell before it was doing. So that's why you have to change the habits to train the cells to do new things. And then as they go on and convert and change over, now the new habits are being instilled in your body, and you're going to see a different body. So you can't be like, oh, well, in 3 months I want to. That sounds good, but are you going to do the work to do that in 3 months?
Come on now. You serious? Like, that's the truth. That's the truth. Like, man, come on. You can't just overnight expect to have something that you, one, haven't put in the work for. Two, again, like you're saying, this is from childhood. Like, if you wasn't into different stuff, like, you can't just formulate this body overnight. That it's not happening.
And then on top of that, you got to be prepared for the process. Cause I had days I don't have no pics of that because I'm not taking no picture proof of that. But I had days between the then and the now where I had a big old bloated, gassy gut, and my beads was tucked all up on top and tight and burning because my stomach was pushing on. Like, I had those days in between, but I knew what was going to be on the other side of that because of what I was doing to ensure that I was going to get those results. So sometimes it might look like you're not heading in the right direction, but if you know that the stuff that you're doing is going to get you those results, you have to trust the process. The in between might not look as pretty as you want it to look, but if you know that the end result is going to be what you work for, then work for it.
Teach this.
That's what they say, like a blessing in disguise, or it might not be. Don't stop looking for it. Because what's for you will be for you. So a lot of times you go expecting something and it's not what you expected, but it's exactly what you asked for.
Come on, sis. It was exactly what you asked for. Please don't expect nothing different. Please do not expect nothing different.
And especially when you don't have a clear vision of actually what you're asking for. So you've been got it several times over and don't even know it because you didn't even know what you was asking for. Like, that's the crazy part.
That is, no, for real. I mean, that goes to our makeshift prayers, like the things that we ask. You don't even know what you asking for. You ask, like, you don't even know what you're fully asking for. Did you calculate costs and then all the uncalculated costs that you would then forget to calculate? Did you calculate all of that when you asking for these things?
The opportunity cost. That's what they call it in economics, and it's basically the cost of making one choice over another. Nothing is free because you have an opportunity cost associated with it. So because you took one path, because you made one choice, there's another choice that you couldn't make.
Come on now.
So you're always giving something up. Like, there's always a sacrifice. You have to make sure that the cost of that sacrifice is worth what's on the other side of that.
Come on, sis, and teach. And just before we go into, we're going to do our commercial real quick and just go right in with our guests when we come back. That just further brings us into the whole idea of when people say Jesus paid it all. Let's just go ahead and correct that. He didn't. He was the payment. It was Christ it was God, I'm sorry, who was the pay. He paid it all. He used Christ as the payment. So that wasn't free. Don't think, because people walk around, they even got churches called salvation free. The devil lied. It was not free. It came with a price that was greater than what was on the other side. So let's go ahead and go into our quick commercial break. We'll take us into commercial and then we'll come back with our guest, Miss Demetria Winters. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Me too.
Hello, hi. This is your host, Sheena, the host of Rock Bottom, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that y'all have went to YouTube, went to Rock Truth, Rock Nation, Rock Bottom, Rock Cafe, all the above, RockTrue Queens, all the above, and have started following. And if not, please go follow us. Follow us on Rock Truth on YouTube as well. I am your host, Sheena, that will be on Rock Bottom starting April 10th. Please tune in. Please starting follows. And it's a lot more to come. April 10th, I hope to see you there. Rock Bottom, where we don't look like we've been through.
Rock Truth got merch, y'all. Who is your true north? Who holds you down so you'll always know where you are? God, the original true north, the original point of reference. Check out our clothing line, True North, at rocktruth2.com for your kingdom culture needs. Everything from tees to sweats, men's, women's, and kids' sizes. Inez Essentials Whipped Body Butter has a wide assortment of 8-ounce body butter made with unrefined shea and mango butter, infused with vitamin E oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, natural mica powder, and fragrant essential oils. It is designed to heal and moisturize dry skin, and it is perfect for the whole family. Our whipped shea butter is handcrafted with a blend of natural and organic ingredients. The unicorn body butter can be customized to the scent of your choice. If a scent is not chosen, no scent will be added. Have you been searching for a custom home decor and crafts? Check out Delicious Designs. For more information, simply search Della Williamson on Facebook. Are you in need of advertisement or marketing tools? Branded in his image prints, logos, flyers. Contact us today. RockTrue Prints is ready to serve your printing and designing needs. We offer a full array of marketing tools, logos, flyers, business cards, video ads, and website designs. If you need our services for prints, we got you there too. Contact us at rocktruthradio@gmail.com for more information.
We are back. All right, guys. Let me go ahead and intro our guest real quick. Oh, I'm in the wrong. Okay. I have it. Introducing our guest is Demetria Winters. She is an International World Woman of Vision, Health and Wellness nominee. Demetria Winters is a mental health advocate, author, entrepreneur, nurse, and veteran. As a survivor of childhood trauma and diagnosed with major depression, she set out to find a way to effect change in mental health and elevate stigma in the Black community. Focusing on Black women like herself, she seeks to provide education and support with her courses, workshops, and books. She is also involved in political, economic, and clinical forums that led to her founding. That led to her founding Black Butterfly Queens Life Coaching LLC for Black women seeking to overcome their mental and emotional challenges and finding their purpose. Demetria helps these Black women devise self-care plans that include mindset training, conflict resolution, and personal development. Loving to write as part of her own self-care, she decided to take that love to a new level and become a first-time author with the collaboration project, Wake Up Winning No Matter What, Volume 2, Losing is Not an Option. Her second book is a self-published poetry collection with 21-day guided self-care journal called Winter's Prelude. Prior to that, she worked in women and infant services for 20 years and was in the Army for 8. Ms. Winters is currently a business Clayton DeCaleb, as well as I'm so sorry, I read that wrong. Ms. Winters is currently a member of Southern Crescent Women in Business Clayton DeCaleb chapter, as well as World Women Conference and Awards of Atlanta to empower women in all aspects of their lives. As the director of two 501c3s, Shine Bright Vision Service Corp and AIM High Solutions Corp, she helps coordinate membership programs for domestic workers and health and youth respectfully. Her hobbies include reading, writing, and taking walks. Let's introduce let's greet Miss Demetria Winters to the show. Hey, Miss Demetria.
Welcome,
How are you?
welcome.
Hello. Y'all see me glowing here in
I
Georgia?
know, right? I love your locks. I'm definitely considering starting my journey because y'all just out here, showing out with your locks and the twists and the cut. I love it all.
Yes, I love it. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. And that I'm gonna ask. That's your hair?
Yes,
Whoa.
it's mine.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've been on a journey with my locks for 3 years. My son had suggested a while ago, but I didn't take his suggestion. And just going through different changes in my life, that's
Yeah.
one of the things that I was led to. And I feel like it actually helps me when it comes to my depression, because one of the things that people who are depressed do is not take care of themselves. So my hair can still be cute whether I'm depressed or not.
I know that's right, sis. What we call it, resolution problems. It's solved. Like you got to solve. Like either way, we're gonna solve the problem.
Right. Exactly.
Multifunctional.
Ain't it? Ain't it? Okay, so I've introduced you, but I would like you to tell us about yourself and tell us about the different organizations that you are part of, specifically the Black Butterfly Queens.
Well, some of the organizations I'm a part of course, I'm collaborating with others. I with Aim High Solutions, that's a family organization. Myself and my two younger children started it. Um, and to tell you the truth, we really wanted to help everybody. Um, but now we're concentrating more on the youth, holistic wellness for youth and their families. And for someone else is the CEO of Jacqueline Arnold. For Black Butterfly Queens Life Coaching, that's my own baby. I wanted,
Okay.
because I feel like I'm finally on my true journey of healing from the trauma that I experienced growing up and throughout my life. I didn't want any other Black woman to go through that, or I, at the very least, to have someone to take them by the hand when they take the first step to make positive moves to heal and do better when it comes to self-care and mental health and emotional health. And I actually, um, I got my LLC for that in 2019. However, I wanted to hold on because I knew I wasn't familiar with being a businesswoman. So there are things that I did not do because I wanted to make sure when I do it for real and really put it out there that I did it right. Because we deserve it. Black
Mm-hmm.
women deserve it. But I didn't want to not contribute something. That's why I made a private group for Black Butterfly Queens so that we could have a space, a safe space, because I was sick and tired of seeing Black men and Black women attacking each other verbally on Facebook and Instagram and all of that, or any other race attacking the Black woman. So it's a safe space full of positive images of all our shapes, sizes, hair color, no hair, vitiligo, blonde, blue eye, because we do have Black people that are like that. Because if you look at flowers, say for instance, and the different types of flowers, if you look at butterflies, there's so many different types, but they're all beautiful. And you know, I just wanted to have something for us because, you know, yes, we are magical. You know, we are queens, we are goddesses, but we need some TLC, some tender love and care too. Sometimes we need to step back and be able to, woosah and take a, just, regroup and rebuild and restore. So
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm so glad you said where the name came from, because as soon as I heard the name, I immediately thought of that Denise Williams song, and I was up here just singing it like crazy. I'm like, just the sky, that's the sky. I can't sing, but that was my jam, and yeah, but that's immediately what I thought of. So, but yeah, that's amazing, and you're right. Like it is, you know, it's hard out here, especially if you're like in the thick of whatever is, you know, ailing you mentally, and you know you trying to reach out, or you know you don't really know where to go, so of course you go to social media and then you get drugged for, you know, just, you know, trying to figure something out, and you know that's not a healthy way to deal with anything, or to even feel comfortable, you know, to be put in a space to deal with anything. So I'm so thankful that you are out here creating a space like that, especially for, you know, for Black women, because, you know, people don't really want to admit it, but like we like real life, like we have like all the strikes against us, like anything that anybody could say why you can't be in here or why they don't want you there, like we have all of that, like all in one. And so it's
right.
a struggle to like really find your place and find a space where you can like really flourish and be you and be comfortable and be safe while you're being vulnerable. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of us don't even get that in our relationships, you know, with our friends, our family, and our
Right.
spouses. So it's imperative that we create that space for ourselves, because no one's going to understand it like another Black woman. All right. It's plain and simple. I can explain it to you all day long, but if you do not walk in these shoes, you're not going to know it. And you know that goes for anybody in their own, you know, specific space. Find your crowd, find your group, your ilk, whoever you can identify with, because that's where you're going to find the most support for your healing. And I was reading your bio. I was like, oh my goodness,
Right.
like she's our guest.
Yes.
I was like, what? Okay.
And I'm a late bloomer though. I'm a late bloomer.
Ain't no such thing. This is prime real
For
estate.
so long, I was shut down. You know, because they're always shutting you up. Stay in a child's place, like you said. Why are you here? You know, I don't want to listen to your ideas. And let's get real, some people don't want to listen to our ideas because we sound too smart.
I know. It's like, dang, why didn't I think of that first?
Informed. We sound.
Oh yeah.
Right. And you know, if that person is your boss or supervisor, manager, or whatever, and you sound like, you know,
like you could do their job
just as much or more, then you get attacked for it. You get singled out for that too. And I have a therapist, and nothing against some of the other therapists that I had, but I can truly tell them exactly my story and they understand, because it's not just about what's in my brain and some of the things that they can experience, you know, some of the things that they can't experience are things like if I have an issue because of my skin or my hair, I personally,
they don't get it.
I just feel like who better to go to than another sister. And I really love my therapist now because she can relate to me. And then another thing reason I like therapists, and I don't know, Black people need to come on and do this thing, because by law, they have to keep all your secrets. You could tell them everything.
Oh yeah.
Just spill it. And by law, they gotta keep your secrets. I was like, that's a plus, because in my past, I've had an ex-husband and other people use my confessions about my hurts and my pains and my traumas against me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people do it all the time. Like, you know, if you're insecure about something about yourself, unfortunately, you all have people that will, if you all have any kind of disagreement, then then that's what they going for.
Right, right, right,
What you
right. So,
just said you were insecure about.
wow.
Yep, they
So
dig and twist, and then you look up like, is this the knife from my kitchen drawer? Are you? And they do it with a straight face, and then act like you did something wrong to them.
I
Like,
swear, I
huh?
swear, I swear, have no problem turning. And I said, I promise people are master manipulators. They can take something and switch, turn that
yes,
thing, and turn that thing quick. You be like, how you get in it? This wasn't even about you. How you get in it? Like, it just, oh God, master manipulators, master manipulators. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord.
right,
Hey,
right. And
I didn't want to leave you out, Queen.
you really have to protect. You really have to protect everything about yourself. You have to
Mhm.
protect not only your body, you have to protect your spirit, you have to protect your happiness and your joy, you have to protect your mind because the attacks are real.
Mhm.
But you go through stuff, and what you have to remember is when you get through something, then that's just another tool. Just like you said about muscle memory, that's another memory, another tool that you can pull out the bag when you need it.
Yep.
Like you've been through some stuff, and some of the stuff you gonna go through in the future, because we still gonna go through something.
Teach,
It's not,
sis.
it hasn't disappeared, and it
No.
won't disappear because things happen. You're covered, not because nothing will ever happen to you. You're covered because there are tools that help you cope. There are people that are gifted and anointed when it comes to counseling and therapy. You, I I love our people, but one thing that I hate to hear is when somebody says something very serious, like they're thinking about suicide or something like that, or they're depressed, or they just don't know what to do. And our people will say, just pray. I have no problem with the pray part, but the just, no, because that's not all you do. And then why can't you pray for God to send you a good therapist or a good counselor, or they'll help you figure out how to cope? It's got to be
Like,
specific
yeah,
what you ask for.
absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I'm with you. Like prayer, first of all, it's simply saying what he said. So it's not like you saying anything different other than what the word is saying. And he is the great therapist. Start there. Start with the revelation that he has provided for you. A lot of people, they like to do the self affirmations, but don't make up nothing. Don't call yourself anything that he didn't call you. Don't refer to yourself a reference. Don't say the things that the world is saying. Say what he said about you, because that's what's going to be edifying and fulfilling for your soul. And another, heal. It's time that we heal. That's the thing with our society. We are coping. And
Yes.
we have drugs to cope. We have everything. The whole thing, the system, the pharmaceutical system is built upon coping. They're not trying to help nobody. They're not trying to get to the root cause. They're trying to only deal with your symptoms. And that's why, again, with Rock Truth, we can't deal with your symptoms. We do not have tissue for your issues. We deal in the root cause, because that that uproots what's going on. That's a surgical procedure that takes away what's happening, not plucking, pruning, cutting, because that same measure or that same method that you use can also produce growth. You're not getting rid of anything. You're just creating conditions in which something can now grow even more, if not even bigger. So you have to uproot everything. So this,
Right.
this is our time to heal, get back under submission to God. We're not without, like we don't know what to do. He's told us what to do. We don't want to do it. That's the problem. We don't want to do it. And we want to do what we want to do, but we don't want to admit we don't want to do what he said. Like, it's like, come on, admit it, but you're holding yourself back from your own personal healing if you don't admit the things that are happening around you. Admit the things that you've done to admit the situations that you put yourself in. Because that's another, we like to play the fall and blame game. All of this stuff came from the fall. The same behavior in the fall is what we seeing out here with the people of today. And they love that blame game. They love that blame game. They love to say somebody else did it, as opposed to themselves. Somebody else made me like this. Somebody else, nobody's making you. You're choosing. You're choosing. And you don't want to hear that either. Because again, we like to play victim. That's another thing too. We love to play victim. We love to have our pity parties. Like, and it's like enough is enough. You know, how long do you keep going on with this? And the thing about it is, we have to up our response time, because Christ responded to us immediately. Actually, it was pre-sent. So the response to people in your own situation should be already prepared, like we talked about before. It should be already pre-sent. There isn't nothing when you get there; it's already there. Yeah, it's a lot of mental, you know, mental things that we have to over barriers that we have to overcome, and a lot of them are self-taught things that we say to ourselves and that are not even true. That are not even true. You know, so this generation, it's a time for healing. You know, we have to heal, and we have to heal according to law, according to what's written, because if you heal any other way, it's a superficial healing. You know, you've psyched your mind out, but you've just
Yeah, you definitely,
simply just deceived yourself.
yeah, you definitely have to heal. And the thing is, I'm gonna tell you, I can only talk from my own experience, but I'm gonna tell you, I didn't know that I was in the condition I was in. Um, like I said, I had gone through childhood trauma, which started between the ages of 3 to 5. Um, started, um, but there were years of, traumatic experiences and events that happened throughout the years. Well, I'm going through life and I'm okay. I think I'm okay because I got all my limbs. I got married. I went to school. I had my children. But something wasn't quite right. But I didn't know that something wasn't quite right until 2012 when everything hit the fan and I didn't want to be here anymore. I had thoughts of suicide. Now, when I reached deep inside somehow, God's guidance, I'm sure, and reached, and since I'm an Army vet, I got in contact with the Veterans Hotline, and I used text because I didn't want to hear myself say the words to communicate to the person on the other end. When I went into the hospital and they started giving me the terminology that went along with what I was feeling and what I was going through, that's when I woke up. I
See,
couldn't put a name to it because I didn't even know. I didn't see myself clearly. And so that's why it's also important for us adults, no matter what our children, if our children have gone through something, just because they look like they are doing good does not mean they are. Get them
teach.
some help. Get them some help. I was a straight A student and I was quiet. I didn't start trouble. They didn't know that I was going through what I went through. So,
Mm, you teaching, sis.
we have to be more mindful that there are a lot of people walking around here and they don't have a clue. First
Mhm.
of all, when you get to people late in the game when they're adults, then it's gonna take more work to overcome. That's like
Teaching.
when you're in a hospital, the reason they ask you about 0 to 10 when it comes to pain, 0 being no pain, 10 being the worst, because if your pain is at a high level, it takes more work to get it back under control and back so that you can feel better. If you catch it when it's starting to get a little bad, but it's not so high, then it's easier to control that pain.
Right.
And it's the same with this. It's the same with trauma. If
Teach
you
it.
catch it early, it's easier to make sure that children grow up in a better situation and have a better life. But when you wait until they're adults, it's not impossible, but it's more difficult because remember, you got all them layers of years of this stuff eating at you.
Yeah.
And we need to be mindful of how we talk to each other, of how we look at each other, of what we say to each other, what comes out of
Come
your
on,
mouth,
Tim.
because that stuff has so much more power than people act like than they
Yes.
realize. And
Yes.
then you don't know what's going on in that person's heart. And I can give another example, not of me, but of DMX, the rapper.
Mm-hmm.
I'd heard his songs. I'd never heard his story, but then I heard his story about how he always was helping everybody else. He always was praising God and looking out for everybody else, but he was still hurting from the trauma he dealt with when he was a kid. And
Mm-hmm.
then now he's gone.
Yep. Yep. That's
And
everybody.
it made it easier for him. It made it easier for him to, you know, not take care of himself as well, or not pay attention to other people out to hurt him,
Mm-hmm.
or the fact that maybe he was hurting himself. It is not easy to see yourself when you got all that junk, all those scars that nobody else can see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. Yep. He's a good example of, you can have it all and still be hurting. If you don't heal, if you don't master singleness, you don't have to go through life, burdened and down. And no, that's a choice. Okay. We choose, like we put our clothes, you can choose to do. You can choose to rethink. You can choose everything. Like Doc was talking about her body, it's muscle memory. And the thing about it is, it's already in us. He's planted it in our heart, mind. So when it comes, it's muscle memory. It's been there from the beginning of time. All you got to do is work the muscle. You're not working that muscle. You know what I'm saying? And again, you need
Yeah,
other people that are around you. You need
yeah,
relatives or the people that are around you who have tried for themselves and got a result, so they can also help you and help others, that are also going through. Like I would say almost everybody is battling some type of
yeah,
a mental issue or concern, and they lack the answer.
Yep.
yeah.
It's true.
And yeah, and people, one of the things, unfortunately, that we do is we tell people, well, you're just using it as an excuse. Um, no, we really need to know, like you said, the root. We need to know the root. Then that'll help us know how to combat the effects of the poison at the root.
Teach, teach.
We
You
we
got you
gotta
have to.
know. We gotta know. Like even some people that you cannot save, maybe they died or they committed homicide or killed somebody or something like that. I want to know the root, not because I'm trying to give them a way to escape the consequences, but so that maybe we can keep somebody else in their situation from becoming that person.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's exactly it right there. Because that's actually what saved me. And it's crazy because it was literally like around the same time you were having your issues, like I was having mine. I was like in the last year of school. I was struggling. I was in, St. Louis. I don't have any family there. I have like a few, sorors, and that was it. And I was just kind of like, untethered there. And so it really put like a big strain on me. And then next thing I knew, I was like, well, the easiest thing would just be to check out. And I was like, wait a minute, that don't even make a little bit of sense. And so I went inside and I asked God for help. And then sure enough, like not even a day later, my friend was telling me how he was kind of going through something similar. And I was like, this is a weird conversation to just come up. And I told him, I was like, well, yeah, who did you go see? He was like, the school counselor. And especially if you're in college or you're in any type of school, they have mental health specialists on site or like a line to them. So you don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to think like, oh, well, I can't afford it. Usually at least the first consultation is free. So if you have a problem and you don't know what it is, they can at least help you identify some things and get you, on the right path to treatment and, get you some help. So reach out to your services. If you have health insurance, you can call, like they usually have like a nurse hotline that you can call and ask, what doctors in the area that my insurance covers. And, there's things that you can do that you don't have to worry about, like, oh, well, will it break the bank? And, you hear about how they're like $200-300 an hour per session or whatever. But that's like, I'm pretty sure your life is worth more than $200-300 an hour. So, if you have to make it work, there are plenty of programs to help support you, to help offset costs. There are plenty of people who do it for free. Like there are therapists fully licensed and all of that stuff that do it for free because they understand that just because you can't afford it doesn't mean that you don't need the help. So, reach out. And a lot of times if you ask, if you really just earnestly pray to God and you really want that help, he's going to send whoever you need to you.
I totally agree. Before we get out of here, ladies, I'm going to give us our final thoughts. Doc, did you have anything else outside of that, or you're good to go?
Oh no, that was all.
That's coolness. AJ, final thoughts.
No, I mean, she touched on so many things just around just the whole process of healing and getting to that point of knowing I need to do something. I need to go outside of myself. Everything that she touched on, definitely speaks volumes, and just things just for, either for myself, but also for other people, just to see like, hey, it's okay. And especially with the negative stigma that comes with seeking out help, what she touched on definitely speaks volumes.
Absolutely.
Oh, I did just think about it. The medications. If you are prescribed medication, take it. Regardless of how you feel about it, if they prescribe it to you, they trust me, they think you need it. And you have to be very vocal about how it affects you, how you feel about all of that stuff, because that's how they tailor your medication to you. They don't know you personally, and that those medications affect everyone differently. You all can be on the same medication, the same dose, and it affects you differently. So you have to be vocal about how it's affecting you, how it's affecting your life, how you're functioning. Because for me, some of the sleep medication that they gave me left me foggy, and I'm in my last year of a chemistry degree. So obviously I can't be foggy. So I had to, tell them so they could adjust things to, to tailor to my needs. Or if I had like extra stuff that I had to do, so I need to be able to stay up later, but still be able to get, the same amount of sleep and not be, you have to be vocal with them. Tell them what's going on in your life. Tell them what you need from them. They're there to help you. They don't just give you something to like, yeah, this is it. Like, no, you are the driver of your treatment. So make sure you're in that driver's seat and you're looking at all your mirrors.
Absolutely. Not for real. That medication is serious. And be honest about it, like she's saying, and then utilize it for what it's there for. Do not overdose. Do not take it when you don't, when you feel like, or when you know for yourself that I don't need it as much or this much. Go back. Talk to your physician about that, because you want to wean off. That is just it's in a sense your life support system until you got life back. You know what I'm saying? Once you can walk again, you don't need crutches. start walking. It's like it reminds me of Miss Bam on Medea walking around with that cane she don't need. Every time she leave it somewhere, I just be like, "Come on, man, you never needed it. You never needed it." And that's how we walk around, though.
Yeah.
Mr. Media,
But that's really important
fight
because especially the antidepressants, if you just stop taking them, sometimes it actually increases your depression. And so even if you weren't suicidal before, you can absolutely become suicidal because you just cut your medication. So don't ever just stop taking your meds. Don't do that. Like, just don't.
Yeah, just yes.
Right. There's a process. There's a weaning process to take you off of this stuff. And, it's interesting because now I really love natural healing. But sometimes you got to take some other stuff until you get to a point where you can kind of, see what the natural do for you. But what you gonna do in the meantime when what you're doing is getting worse? Like, you know, you 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 gotta be realistic. And nobody's saying let anybody control you. Like you said, you take the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Or don't say Jesus take the wheel and you still got your hands on it.
Please stop.
You gonna walk with you gonna let Jesus steer you to the doctor?
It's a crazy
You
look.
pull it to the left and he trying to get you go straight.
Yes, crazy. It's
working
crazy.
against your own best interest.
Yeah, and I will say,
if the decision that you make is making things worse for you, then you gotta change it up.
Yep, exactly, and that was the key thing. So I had a psychologist and a psychiatrist. So the psychiatrist is the doctor; they can prescribe the medication. The psychologist cannot. So they can give you what is that, one-on-one therapy. They can talk you through stuff. They can give you techniques and stuff. So if you prefer to do the non-medication, I still suggest you see a therapist, a licensed psychologist, because they definitely do have very effective non-medical medicine type treatments for a lot of things. So I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I used like breathing techniques, visualization techniques, and it really pulls me back down out of my mania, or I'm able to deal with whatever depression state a lot easier. So my swings aren't as wide. But if they get too wide, then I would seek a medication to bring that back in, because those swings are coming from hormonal imbalances. And some natural things can help with the smaller shifts, but when they get to larger shifts, you pretty much have to be on medication at that point. So definitely consider all forms, and that's the thing, they have holistic therapists out there that are that work hand in hand with your psychologist, with your therapist, with your psychiatrist, with your nurses, and you can get a team together. It's just up to you to say what you want provided for you, and they will reach out to the people that can provide those services for you. So that's what I'm saying, like, be very vocal in what it is you want, even if you don't know what those things are, they can figure it out for you.
Just keep talking.
And don't deny it. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of it, and don't deny it. Because just because you deny it doesn't mean that it's not there.
Exactly.
Go ahead and own it. It's in control. And take control. Take control.
Absolutely.
You got them. What you want the therapist to help you with.
Yeah. So, well, Chris, can you please tell us, where can we find you? Where can we purchase your books? What do you have a next event that's coming up that you would like to promo? Please give us all of that info.
There's quite a few things going on. I actually with AIMPI Solutions, the nonprofit that I'm the Chief Business Development Officer in. We are going to have a Juneteenth fashion show, along with, and our partner is celebrity chef Antonio L. Smith.
Okay.
And we're going to have a focus on the youth, and also for, um, bring awareness to needed kidney transplants. So that's for Juneteenth. And for it's called For the Culture. It's three because my daughter's done two fashion shows at the previous school she taught in, and this is the third installment. We missed last year, but a lot of us missed a lot of stuff last year. Um, I my I actually had a curriculum developed for my life coaching business so that I can do classes, because I wanted to incorporate classes, 4, 8, and 12 week classes, and also workshops. Some people, maybe they can only afford the workshops and not the classes. And then you can also take a mental health first aid course from me. For the pretty much the intake form for that, you can go to bit.ly / capital BBQL4812, and that will link you to the form. If you want to see, learn a little bit more and connect through my website, you can connect by going to www.bbqlifecoach.com. That's www.bbqlifecoach.com. And I'm gonna have an official launch, business launch, July 31st. That's gonna be real good, y'all. It's gonna incorporate some poetry, live entertainment, painting, and sipping, um, to do this launch. And it's
Oh, her Wi-Fi must be spotty. It looks like she's moving
Okay.
again.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, they're going
Oh,
crazy.
no, it's okay. Okay. Well, okay. Well, I try to like wait to see because sometimes it just pop back in and you be like, oh, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of like give a final thought and hopefully, prayerfully, she'll come back and maybe she can finish what it was she was saying that she didn't complete. But definitely just a reference of something that is imperative when you are healing from mental issues or situations. One note that whatever it is that you're going through, you are not alone. There is not one other person that isn't going through something like that in some way, shape, or form. So even though yours look a certain way or different or particular color, like she was talking about, there are many different flowers. It's a flower. There are many different butterflies. They're beautiful, but they're still butterflies. All of us have been hurt. We're all sinful. We're all broken. We are all fallen. All of us have hurt other people. Okay. So we're all sitting on the same boat. You're not alone. Another thing to reconsider, always reconsider, is that more than likely the person that hurt you was hurt. Hurt people hurt people. It's generational. It's passed down. People are hurting people. You know what I'm saying? So don't think like, okay, you're out here one alone too. You in a position where you're above another person because now you have to look at yourself and say, look at the people you've hurt. So everybody's guilty. Same crime. And it saves a lot of the mental. It saves a lot of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, which is part of what's leading to autism. I mean, not autism, Alzheimer's. Because you're thinking about all the stuff you wish you could have said, should have. No, you should have done it or get rid of it. It's over. Yesterday is over. You don't live there no more. Stop bringing up the past. Stop talking about the past. That you don't live there. Everything is now. Everything is absolutely right now. So live in the present. Choose that. You know, we have a choice in life. Exercise your right. Exercise your
Can y'all
right.
hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
but note to self that everybody is hurt. And at the same time, everybody is guilty of hurting others. So let's heal.
Yes.
Let's heal. Like enough is enough.
Yep.
Stop. We can't keep bringing up the past. We can't keep talking about this. We have things to do and we're stuck. This is our stuck at the door here. We're stuck because we can't get over ourselves. He has real
And
work.
every time you think about it, you actually relive it. Your body goes through that same emotional and physical response, even though the event is no longer happening. So you end up doing it to yourself again and again and again. And then you end up causing like hormones, like there's all kinds of everything that's associated with that physical response. And you end up in a fight or flight. And so now you've triggered it. And then if you trigger it for so long, it can be stuck in a fight or flight. And there's actually a story in one of the books I had read about this lady who caused herself to have like this debilitating like disease, and none of the doctors could figure out what was wrong with her because she was literally doing it to herself. Like her husband had committed suicide, didn't say goodbye to her. He said bye to the kids, and then next thing she knows, she had cops on her doorstep saying he jumped off the tallest building at like downtown. He was like a lawyer or something for I don't know, some type of big like company, but yeah. He didn't. She was like, you know, internalizing what he did, and was like, well, why didn't he say bye to me? You know, what could I have done differently? And then, you know, now she's worried about, you know, how she's going to take care of her kids, and she ended up in a bad relationship after that, and she's already like medically and physically like debilitated by the time she ends up in this bad relationship because, you know, she done lost her house because she couldn't work because of her. Like it was an ongoing, like it was a large domino effect, and it all just started from her constantly reliving her husband's suicide and how she felt when the cops told her that that's, you know, what happened. And every time someone asked her why she was in the situation, that's what she would say. Well, and so she's constantly like reliving it, and even when she's not around people, she's, you know, thinks. So it's like you have to be careful what you do, you know, in your mind, because your mind controls your body. Like when you think of a thought long enough, when you think of like, oh, I'm going to do this, you get up and go do it because your brain has sent the signal to the muscle. So imagine if you're sitting there and you're not actually acting out whatever it is you're thinking, like, where is that energy going? It's going to drain you.
Because we like to think that when I say we're guilty of sin, that we just think that that's guilt indeed. Because a lot of people think they good on their own. I don't do nothing. I don't do this. I don't do that. But let me tell you what you do. You think. And you're just as guilty for those thoughts that you are for doing it. So you might as well went and did it. You're guilty. We are all guilty. We are all on the same boat. We have all done it to somebody, or we have been victimized by somebody else. Come on. It's time to move. It is time to move. You know what I'm saying? It's just time. We can't stay stuck here. You know, so mental, we got to get our own heads. We got to get out our own minds. And we have keys. We have principles. We have a way in which to go. You got to want it. The door is open.
Yeah.
You know, it's open. That's the crazy part. We lock ourselves in a room with the door wide open all the time. You know, so this man, we got to get out of our mental space, and the last 6 months of 2021 is a way to do it. Speaking of which, we got Baywatch coming up, and next week on Rock Single, that's the way to get out of your mind, out of your space, out of here, because we're gonna get you right. We're gonna help you master singleness, master yourself, master your thoughts, master the way that you think of things, question where and how you got these concepts, where did they originate from. We are not settling with they said. We are not settling with your mama came up with. We are not settling with Granny always told me. This can't fly. This can't fly no more, y'all. We just can't do this. We cannot do this. So it's time to question the narratives. We have to start questioning this stuff. Like, where you get that from, though? You know,
that's what I asked. I'll be like, are you sure? Like, and people like, they're like, well, I don't want, you know, people to feel offended. Like, well, then ask them, are they sure? Because if they are sure, then they're going to say, yeah. If they're not sure, then they're going to go back and fact check. They're going to double check. They're going to make sure that, and they're going to make sure that the information that they're giving you is correct because you're questioning it. They're like, well, dang, I didn't even question it. Maybe
Right.
I should have.
For real.
And that's
Only
the thing.
Go ahead, sis.
People hear the same thing over and over and they never question it. But then when you stop that cycle of, well, my grandmother said it, my mother said it, my aunt said it. Okay, but what do you
And
say?
they repeating wrong.
And so, and
We
that's
repeat wrong, right?
right.
Couldn't be wronger. Loud and wrong.
Louder. But it's wrong.
Yep. And that's
Yeah.
the thing, even with just anything that we're doing, you know, oh, well, my grandparents did it this way. My mother did this way. My father, well, I'm not. I won't.
Come on, sis. People say it as if that's a reason to follow. Because you hear the word.
Right.
These manipulation words. People have positions in your life, and when you hear these terms, it then makes you do something different that you wouldn't have normally done. That's manipulation. Don't let these factors. I don't let no factors come in. Don't tell me, oh, we cousins. Don't tell me nothing about we fact. Please don't bring up none of them words because now I'm really probably not about to do something because I feel like that's the term.
Exactly, because now you're trying to manipulate. Like, well, why are you trying to use the trump card? Because it's probably something I'm not going to want to do regardless. So you trying to pull on my heartstrings, like, no.
Mama would have always done that for us. I don't care what she would have done. That's her. That you should go ask her.
I am not my mama.
I am not my mama. It's clear. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you so much, Miss Demetria Winters, for joining us, blessing us with this conversation. We have greater things to come. Next month, we'll be refocusing. Erica will tell us about that next week. And then we'll be looking for another author that we're going to highlight. I'll reach out to Miss Chandra about her book so we can highlight another author. And then be on the lookout for the RockTrue Queens group. I will post our winner of the May basket. Well, we still have baskets that we're giving away. So the winner of our May basket, I'll be looking to see who has been chiming in, who has been, connecting with us in both the groups and all of that stuff for the month of May. And we'll be giving out another basket. So guys, don't forget in June, we'll give out, I think the rest of this year, we're giving out baskets. So tune in, follow us on Facebook, YouTube. We are on Twitter. I just want to throw that one out for free. So you can follow us there. But other than that, Queens, we out of here. We lit.
All right.
We live. We true. Be you. Rock truth. Absolutely nothing at all. Peace.